I always think that I must plan out my entire journey, or must figure out all the theories and to figure out the best way or ideal way to get something done. But there'll never be a perfect time or place to do that. You just have to keep at it and keep working on your craft and follow your gut, really, and see what happens from there.
Lately I've been sleeping alone on my own again.
It's an ongoing relationship, so I definitely have like a love-hate, relationship with music. There are days where I'm just like, oh man, this is impossible. But most of the time it's good. I think generally it's like the only thing that reciprocates exponentially. Like you put something in, you see how it grows, and and how it reaches people as well. Like even when people buy music online, sometimes they add messages to your Bandcamp thing, and that's very encouraging. I get letters every now and then.
When you need the sympathy, come as you are.
A lot of it comes from boredom, really playing the same song twice. With the band, it's a lot more fun, because you can interact and there's a lot of room for improvisation. The song is structured, but you leave some sections open, especially for solos, obviously. That's another reason why the live shows do well. It's because we're not just going through the motion, it's also a showcase, of musicality, which is, lacking a lot these days. A lot of laptop, spacebar, and karaoke.
And all your time was spent hanging by a thread, back and forth with me like this social currency.
Music's such a selfish thing if you think about it. Like writing a song about your feelings, and then or your own observations about the world or whatever. But at the same time, that paradox is interesting. I think all the best art is, quite self-indulgent and selfish. It has to come from a very personal space. It doesn't necessarily need to be autobiographical in whatever you do. That's not the kind of honesty that people are looking for. I think people are looking for something that is relatable and something that is personal. It has to obviously come from a place of vulnerability, I suppose, and that takes a lot of effort sometimes to show.
Catch you if you let go. I'll pick up the things you let fall. But if that's what you wanna, just move on.
You don't write because you think oh yeah, this sounds Singaporean. I think it once again has to come from an honest place, and it's a thing that can only be defined in retrospect. At Mosaic, for example, I was talking to Benson Pars, the CEO, and he was telling me how jazz musicians, like John Pizzarelli, they'll have all these little artist parties and things at the Esplanade, and they'll be playing local jazz music, and these musicians from New York or whatever, they'll go, this is interesting, I've never heard this sound before. They couldn't put a finger on it as well, but they knew that it's different, the approach and a lot of things that can't be quantified, it's just there. Living in Melbourne, coming from Singapore, a lot of the problems that I thought of actually weren't problems at all, and if there were any stereotypes, you can just use them, as a platform. If you could prove them wrong, all the more they'll work for you. As much as we're confused, or should I say culturally confused, there's no better time to do it than now, when everything's like a melting pot and we're all trying to figure ourselves out.